Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis, along with my WWE Hall of Famer co-host, Mr. Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. It's one of those days, it's a little cool outside. It's not real cool, but it's better than it has been. And I love cooler weather. I hate that hot, sweaty weather. Give me a cool day any day.
Hey, I wanted to address this too. A lot of people have stopped at watch the podcast, and they asked me. They said, "Well, why are you not at a desk with headphones on? Whatever, like the people on the podcast do."
Because he's lazy.
That's what I told him. I said, "Yeah." I just told him, "Hey, listen, this is the best job in the world. I'm in my bedroom in my favorite chair. Yep. I don't need no headsets and all that stuff. This is real. So that's how I am. So I'm just relaxing and having a great time."
And we've been doing it this way for a year now, coming up on a year. We're not quite there yet. Actually, our next episode will be our 1-year anniversary, Friday the 13th. And Teddy, I can't believe it's been a year. That blows my mind, thinking that we've been doing this for a year, because it seems a lot shorter than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, that means that we've been busy. We've been moving on. So when you're busy and working, time, it slips right on by you.
And, this month is October Frights. That means that we get to have a lot of fun when it comes to Halloween. And our whole theme this entire month will be kind of about Halloween themes and scary stuff. You'll see as we get along. As a matter of fact, we just announced yesterday, we'll announce it here right now as well, we have a special guest to be coming in later this month, and that is none other than the legendary Taskmaster himself, Kevin Sullivan. And he's a good friend of yours as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, man, can't wait to talk to Kevin. A lot of people, this generation of wrestling now may not know, but Kevin Sullivan, one of the guys that is really responsible for me being where I am today. Kevin kind of discovered me. I had the opportunity to ride with him and another man, hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert, God rest his soul. And if anybody in the wrestling business, especially the old schoolers like you and I, know that Eddie Gilbert and Kevin Sullivan were two of the great minds in this industry. And like I said, people don't know, and I still let everybody know Kevin created the NWO. And I can say this now, and I'll also let Kevin know. When Kevin was booking the NWO, I was right there in that room. I couldn't let nobody know that back then, but every night he booked that NWO, I was there. So that's why I learned, and that's why I, kept my ears open, and I learned so much, man. And I kept all that, in my head. And so thanks to Kevin, and can't wait to have him on, man.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun for those of you who are big fans of WCW back in the day and the Dungeon of Doom. Believe me, we'll be talking about the Dungeon of Doom, so hang in there for that. Also, Friday the 13th, our 1-year anniversary, very special guest will be joining us, and that is former WWE superstar Lacey Evans, now Macy Estrella. She'll be joining us on the show next Friday the 13th, and I'm looking forward to that as well. She's we've talked about her on various shows, Teddy, and I reached out to her and just said, hey, look, would you be interested in coming on? She said, absolutely. So we're looking forward to that. And she's got a great background, too. There's a lot to this woman that a lot of people may not know. That's really impressive. So we got a star-filled entire month here, Teddy. It's going to be busy. Hey, look, I sent you a video because I know that you don't watch AEW, but I wanted you to see Edge addressing the AEW fans for the first time. And he came out, of course, with Christian in the cage. He called him out. Christian Cage called him out to the ring. Want to get your thoughts on that whole thing, how it went down, and how you think they did with it?
Well, I think they did absolutely fantastic, man. That was excellent. And you got two guys in there that know exactly what they're doing. They know how to cut a good promo. And I actually don't believe anybody wrote that. I really believe that those two guys got together back and got with each other, and they come up with that themselves. I don't even think that was written. It could have been, but like I said, that was great. And that's the way I would have went in too. I didn't understand. I didn't know, because like I said, I don't know what they're doing there. But I was hoping that they wouldn't bring them in to be buddies, like when Edge made the comment of his daughter saying, go and have fun with Uncle Jay. I don't think that needed to be there. I think what they did exactly what's supposed to happen. I might went at it with a little different, maybe Christian could have said, hey man, you deserted me many years back. You left me in WWE or, anywhere along them lines. But I think the way that came off was exactly the way it was supposed to be. And at the last, for Christian to tell Adam, hey man, go F yourself. That's real. I like that.
Yeah, that was an ending. They cuss a lot on that show, and I'm used to that. But just the way that it came out of Christian's mouth, at that moment, it was really unexpected. I expected he was going to say something smart ass. I didn't think he was going to cut that deep and that hard. And, the censors were in the back going, okay, we know one point of this thing, he's going to say something. And they had to bleep it out. But I thought it was perfect. I thought it was well done. And they didn't go much further with it after that. They left you hanging, wondering what was going to happen next. Perfectly.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
Yes, sir.
If a man tells you to go F yourself, then that's self-explanatory what that means.
Now, you're damn right.
Yeah.
Hey, Teddy, I want to talk about something I saw in Bleacher Report. They are posting the 13 most horrifying gimmicks in WWE. Again, this is an October-themed show, Halloween especially. And again, these are the 13 most horrifying gimmicks in the WWE, according to Bleacher Report. I want to get your opinion on these, Teddy. We got 13 of them. Here we go. First one was Jake Roberts at 13.
Outstanding.
And I agree with that. That without him in there as one of those eerie, creepy guys, it wouldn't be a legit list. The next name on the list was Kevin Thorne and Ariel. Now, did you work with Kevin during the ECW days?
Well, not with ECW. I worked with him in WCW when he came over. WWE. When he came to WWE, I worked with him there.
That was he Mordecai at that point or something like that too?
Yeah.
The other name that's on this list, and I agree it belongs as one of the most horrifying gimmicks, would be Gangrel. There was a period of time where he, Edge, and Christian that we were just talking about a few moments ago, that group was probably one of the only times I've seen a vampire faction that actually worked.
Yeah, well, they were called the Brood, man. That was really good.
Let me ask you about this next one. Number 10 on the list of the 13 most horrifying gimmicks in WWE is a name that has a history with Vince McMahon, and that is Nails. Nails was not a loved individual in the back, was he?
Well, I don't know. I never did. I might have met him, but I never did really know him, so I couldn't tell you, much about him.
The only thing I really know about Nails is that he grabbed Vince McMahon and tried to strangle him to death before he got fired. He was fired the next day, or the same day, probably.
I did hear that, So, but like I said, I don't know. I don't really even believe I ever met him.
The next name on that list, and I agree with this one wholeheartely, and that is the Boogeyman.
Oh yeah.
Teddy, do you know how the Boogeyman origin came about? Was that a character that came over to WWE, or was it created in WWE?
That was Boogeyman's own creation. He created that himself.
Wow. That gimmick to this day still gets over. You and I worked with him probably about a year ago. We were doing a show and he came in for that show, feeding worms at the end of the night and everything else. But he still gets the fans. I mean, we had a line of people waiting to get pictures and autographs. And so if you don't think this guy still got some money and marketability in him, somebody's overlooking somebody they shouldn't be. Let's see. The next one on the list, Boogeyman. Were you there when he ate the mole off Jillian Hall's face?
Ate the what?
She had a big mole on the side of her face, and they had him come in and eat it off of her face. Do you remember that?
No.
You got to pull that up, Teddy. That's just absolutely disgusting. It was perfect for Boogeyman, though. All right, let's see. Number 8 on that list is Diamond Dallas Page. That confused me as one of the most horrifying gimmicks in WWE. And then I had to remember there was a reason for that. When he first came into WWE, he was the stalker who was stalking Undertaker's wife, Sarah, at the time. And so I guess figured he deserved a spot. I'm not sure that Diamond Dallas Page belongs on that list, but okay. The next one. Now, I know you got history with this one. Giant Gonzalez. You remember the big, tall guy in WCW?
Yeah, he's the guy that
former basketball player.
Yeah, I remember him though. Because he was staying out at the Hojo's, and David Sierra, I think that's who it was his driver. And David forgot something and didn't pick him up one day. And so that's where all the boys used to stay out at the dungeon at the Ramada there. So I ended up having to give him a ride to the town. Yeah, I remember who you're talking about, Gonzalez.
How did he fit in the car? I mean, because he was huge.
Yeah,
because he has to lay back in the seat like that. Probably, I would imagine. Yeah.
Well, that's when I used to ride with Kali. That was the same way he rode. He let that seat back.
And he probably just had to look at the ceiling the whole way just so he could fit in the car.
Yeah.
The next one I agree, is probably one of the better WWE, strange, scary gimmicks. That was Mankind. That to me was perfectly done. And again, that really kind of came from the mind of Mick Foley, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly, man. He created all that stuff and all those, crazy moves and stuff. He did them himself.
Absolutely good stuff. The next one the next one on the list is there because there are so many people, my wife included, who hate clowns. They're terrified of clowns. My wife, if she sees a clown on TV to this day, she'll turn the TV station or she'll walk out the room. She will not look at a clown for any reason whatsoever. We even at one point, this was me and Teddy, you're going to love this though. My granddaughter was living with us for a period of time, and she knew, like I knew, that my wife was terrified of clowns. Well, we went to one of those little claw machine things that you see like at Walmart where the claw goes down and you grab. Well, I played and I was pretty good at that, and I saw a clown in there, and it was a creepy clown. I got the clown, grabbed it, put it through, took it home, hid it underneath the bed sheets in the room. So when she went in there to pull the sheets back, there would be a scary clown. She got scared to death, yelled and screamed, took the clown, threw it in the garbage can outside. Unbeknownst to me, my granddaughter goes out to the garbage can, gets the clown, and puts it somewhere else for her to find the next morning. My wife was shrieking through the house in the morning. She couldn't figure out how that thing got back in.
That's good.
Oh, boy. Okay, here's the next name on the list here. I'm sorry, I had to tell you that story. Papa Shango. He was a creepy little shit on there for a while.
Yeah, but that was a great gimmick, man. I enjoyed watching that. That's like the voodoo, man. And only Papa Shango could do that.
Only he could do that. Did you have a chance to see how he worked that gimmick? Did he? Because I know that was something he had to kind of, go with. They kind of gave that gimmick to him, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but Godfather, he's a trooper. This what you want? Okay, I got it.
I'm not sure there's anything Godfather has touched that didn't work. I mean, honestly, think of all the different personalities in WWE, and every single one of them I'm thinking of worked.
Well, he's a fantastic guy, man. I'm telling you, it's great to, be associated with him and to have him as a friend. And he'll tell you, too, I'm the guy that started him to doing cardio.
Well, that's good because you're the master at the cardio, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, you're talking about nice people, too, Teddy. The next one on the list is a really nice guy, Kane, who's number 3 on the list. Yeah, Kane. Yeah, man. Any stories about Kane that you can share?
Well, just a real nice guy, and I never will forget one time we were overseas, and Italy, I guess maybe it might have been. But anyway, that next day, we had to get up and catch an early flight to fly somewhere, and we wasn't going to get a chance to get a workout in that day. So Kane, he knew me, he knew about the gym and stuff. So he the next morning, he called me about 4:00 in the morning. He called my room. And he woke me up, and he made sure that I got up and went to the gym. And it was like 5:00 in the morning, and there's nobody in this gym but me and him. So we got in there, got our workouts in, man, and got done. Went on back to the hotel and got ready, and then we caught the flight, and then we were good all that day. We didn't have to worry about getting no workout in.
Now that's cool that he called you and made sure you got up in the morning too. I mean,
Yeah, man. He and then I had a chance to ride with him one time too, cause he's a loner. He always rode by himself, but I was one of the guys that he did let ride with him.
That's cool. Now, the next two names on the list here, and the first one, and these are the last two on the list, at number 2 of the scariest creations from WWE is Paul Bearer. And Paul was a spooky guy with Undertaker. Did you have any stories with Paul Bearer? We've never talked about him before.
No, I remember one time I was at TV and I was talking to Paul and we was having this discussion, and that was when I had some dogs at the house, but I wasn't able to see about my dogs because I was on the road all the time. Well, my wife, God rest her soul, she didn't really care about the dogs. Okay, I mean she'd see about them, but I had to stay on her. So she didn't take the dogs serious.
They were
so
assholes.
I was telling Paul the story, you know. I said, well, no, I was getting ready to call home. And I said, Paul, we were just talking. I said, let me call, check on my dogs. I said, because, man, my wife, I said, she won't even take the time to feed the dog. I said, I have to stay on them while I'm on the road and see about my dogs. So I'm just telling it to him. So all of a sudden, I called my wife, and I got her on the phone, and she met Paul. Paul knows her. So I had her on FaceTime, and so she spoke to Paul. Paul spoke back to her. And he goes right into this. He said, yeah, Miss Long, said, me and Teddy was talking to him. He's letting me know how you don't care about the dogs, how you don't take care of them, you won't feed them.
Oh, he's digging you a hole.
Oh, yeah, he threw me right off, brother. He done that to me right away.
Oh, God. The last one on the list here, Teddy, before we get into our emails, and we got to take a quick break as well. The last one on that list is Undertaker.
Oh, man, me and Taker, great friends, man. Been friends for a long time. Even before WWE, we was in WCW, and me, Mark Callis, and just always been an outstanding guy. And he's always been in my corner because I've had to go to him several times, you know, and straighten things out for me. But all I can say, man, what an outstanding man.
Look here, before we go into break, let's talk real quick because I want to show a quick clip too as we go into break here. And it's you and Undertaker when you did the bit in the limo when he was kidnapping you, and he goes, "Where to, Teddy?" How did that all come about? I mean, when you were in the car, was Vince there directing the whole thing, or was he involved?
Well, yeah, Vince was directing everything. Vince was right there with the writers and everything. So Vince came up with that, and like I said, he helped. He let me, put my little 2 cents in. You know, he asked me about different little things. Well, how would I? What would I do it this way or that way? So, I got really more relaxed then. You know, because I could see where I could be trusted too. So that's what really made me, give it 100% and get it over.
Was there a moment during that filming that we didn't see that was maybe shot or that they didn't use? So anything that was cut from it?
No. Me and Taker was always pretty good. Sometimes we were one takes. There was no more than 3. We don't maybe get it in 2, but me and Taker, would always, we were just professionals, man. And, and we knew Vince was right there. So, you don't keep screwing around. You want to get it done.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Undertaker, all he had to do was go, "Where to, Teddy?" That's all he had to worry about. But it was your facial expressions and your reaction to the whole thing that made that shot. I'm going to put you on the spot, Teddy. Can you give us that kind of reaction again while you're sitting in that chair, like you're actually in the car?
Okay, well, let's see. I think I had my glasses, and so I was looking around, making sure everybody, driver, and then he turns and he says, "Buckle up, Teddy," and then
Friday the 13th is the first anniversary of Road Trip After Hours with Mac Davis and Teddy Long. Maybe I should stop by and pay them a little visit. You nasties.
It's Halloween and we're back for more. We got rappers and ghouls and freaks galore. We go.
What up, ladies? You can call me Dracula. I'll take you to the crib and make you into a snackula. Sophisticated or red and undead. A Transylvania player in the finest of threads. Big old thief, we don't speak. I be batting fly honeys every day of the week.
Yo, why you biting necks? I be choking them up. I got some platform boots and I'm shredding my stuff. It ain't easy being green, that's my motto. I'm a 10-foot tall walking avocado. Staples in my head and bolts in my neck. I terrorize town folk just to keep them in check.
Double, toil and trouble. My room got zoom and my cauldron bubbles. Black dress, black shoes, black hat, and black cat, I'm all that. And my brewers where the party at. Incantations, levitation. I'll be scaring little children all across the nation.
Yo, straight out of Egypt, fresh on the scene. I'm falling out of control cause I was buried in bling. Cursing archaeologists just cause I wanna. My rap's unfair from here to Botswana. They call me mummy, but I beat it, Daddy Mac. If my arms outstretched, yo, I'm on the attack.
It's Halloween, we'll be on the creek. We're gonna put a little shriek and get trick or treat. We go.
Welcome back to Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis, along with my WWE Hall of Famer co-host, Mr. Teddy Long. Teddy, it's time to check the mailbag. Are you ready?
I'm ready, player.
All right, question number one. Mark in Seattle wants to know, what was one of the scariest moments in wrestling for you?
Wow,
I can think of one right off the top of my head. I'm thinking about when you had the issue with draws. That had to be a moment in your career that really was scary as hell.
Well, yeah, because I had never been in the ring with nobody that had gotten hurt before, so that was my first time to experience that. And especially, I can remember Draws looking up at me, and he kept saying, "I'm gonna die. I feel like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die." Those were his words, and. Yeah, that's pretty scary, man.
Let's see. Andy from X asked, have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain? I'm guessing he's talking like UFOs, maybe ghost stories, something like that.
You know what? I tell you, one time we was in New Orleans, and it used to be a Holiday Inn there, but they had changed it. And it was to another name or something, I think what it was. And anyway, we went there thinking, that it was the same Holiday Inn. And Mark Henry had told me about this hotel. He told me that he had seen something there too, and he warned me. So, I didn't really take that in mind. But anyway, I went to that hotel and I did get a room there. We stayed there. And there was this woman come and knocked on my door the next morning, like it was like housekeeping or something, like she come to clean the room. And I answered the door. She's standing there, and I told her, no, I was okay. And when I went downstairs, I wanted to tell him. I said, well, I need to get my room clean because the lady knocked on the door. I wasn't ready then, so can she clean my room now? And they told me that they had no idea what I was talking about. They didn't have nobody there to clean no room.
I've been checking out right then. Okay, that's good enough. Give me my bill. I'm paying and going somewhere else.
And the lady told me there were no maids on duty. There was nobody at that time, that morning that I said came. She said there was nobody here, sir.
Oh God. When I was a kid, I was going on a trip, and it was a school trip, I think it was. And we went by somebody's house to pick him up. And in Savannah, there's a lot of known haunted houses. And these people had a known haunted house in Savannah. And we were waiting for him to come in, come from the house and onto the bus so we could go. And they wouldn't. They just saw the kid looking out the window, just this little kid peeking out the window. And like, come on, let's go. They weren't home. They drove up in the driveway after we knocked on the door and nobody would answer. We were about to drive away, and the car pulled up in the driveway of the people who lived there with the kid in it. There's a whole bunch of people who couldn't figure out who that little kid was in that house. And to this day, I believe they had ghosts in that house.
Well, like I said, I think spirits are real. There's some people that see them.
Oh, my dad swears when my mom passed away that there was an old clock in the house that would never do it. Just was for looks. And it was one of those little tick-tock kind of things. He said once she died, every once in a while it would go. And he couldn't figure out how it was working. So he pulled it down one day, and he swore it was my mother talking to him after she had passed away. And he went to go prove to himself, well, it's just a battery in here. I need to replace something's just not right. There were 0 batteries in the back of that clock, and it would still go tick-tock occasionally. It ended after like a few months. You didn't hear about it anymore. But I was there one time when it happened, and it is pretty damn freaky, especially when your dad's going, yeah, that's your mom. Don't bother. She's just here in the house. Let me know she's here. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's see. Greg in Petersburg, Virginia. Were you ever involved in a Halloween skit with WWE?
I think I was. I just don't remember it. I think we did some stuff. I was dressed up like Ron Burgundy at one time. I did one day. Then I did something else for the Halloween. I was dressed up like the Leprechaun. Dressed up like
Teddy in a costume. It'll make it funny on TV.
Yeah. I had another something else I did. Elvis costume or something I put on one time or something. I'm not sure. Vince had to do a lot of stuff.
The Elvis costume was hilarious, by the way. And I think I got a promo somewhere, I think, where we use that Elvis costume. I'll run that too here on the show as well. Teddy, we got more to go, but to be honest with you, we're out of time. So we'll save some of this for the next show. And again, keep in mind that next week, our special guest that's planned is Macy Estrella, or is also known as Lacey Evans when she was with WWE. And she'll join us for our Friday the 13th 1-year anniversary show. And we hope you'll join us as well. Teddy, you're going to tell them to come and see us, or you're going to get the Undertaker on them, right?
Yeah, well, if they don't come and see us, it's one-on-one with the Undertaker. So either I might have Kevin Sullivan put him in the Dungeon of Doom. He's going to be on the show.
Yes, and I can't wait for that. I really can't. That's going to be a lot of fun. Folks, we're out of time. We'll see you next week right here on Road Trip After Hours. I'm Mac Davis, and that is WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long.
Holla!